Hello and happy Saturday, everyone. I hope you're all doing well on this fine weekend. I'm personally doing pretty good. I've been trying out the carnivore diet for the month of June, so today is my 20th day, and I gotta say, I'm finally feeling the benefits, more energy. I'm starting to like it. The first 19 or so days, it was kind of rough. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried out that diet before. Anyways, today I answer a couple of your stimulus-related questions, and I'm going to go over stock market news as well as my observations of the markets for last week. That'll be more towards the end of the video. All right, starting off with your questions. The first question. I thought this was a really interesting one, so I'm going to kind of go in depth on this one. The person asks, what is your favorite second stimulus check proposal? So if you've watched many of my updates, you probably already have a pretty good idea of the programs that I like best, or at least the ones that I think will work best. I guess I should say that, because what I like doesn't really matter, but what I think would work best, that's what matters more. First, I think there should be another one-time payment of $1,200. I believe this is a reasonable amount. It's not going to cost the taxpayer a whole lot to just get one single additional check to everyone. However, one slight change to the first payment I would make is I believe adult dependents and college students should also be eligible for the $1,200 payment as well. Or at the very least, whoever claims them as dependents should receive some form of benefit for them. I just don't think it's fair for someone like, for example, has to financially support and take care of a disabled adult, and then they're not eligible to receive anything for that adult dependent. That just really seems wrong to me for the first round, so I think that should be addressed in a second round. And then in conjunction with the $1,200 check, I would like to see a 6-month payroll tax credit. I know many of you, you moan and groan about tax credits, payroll tax credits as a stimulus, but I personally like them for several reasons. It would work as a stimulus that promotes work. I think that's important to promote productivity, getting people back out there in the workforce. There would be more incentive to get more work done and to search for employment, knowing that you're going to retain more of your wages. That's kind of the smallest reason why I like it. But I also like this because it works as a stimulus for businesses as well as employees. This is because businesses pay half of W-2 employees' federal taxes and employees pay for half. So a business would retain some more earnings, which they then would spend in the economy, helping that ever so needy velocity of money that is really down right now, and we need this in the economy. And I like it because it's simple to do. There's no complicated systems needed to be built to run this, no super complicated paperwork that would have to be submitted back and forth between people and government agencies, no debit cards needed, nothing. People just get to keep more of their money. It'd be really simple. And then also, if you're self-employed, you should love the idea of payroll tax cuts because as a self-employed individual, you have to pay both the employee and the employer portion of taxes, meaning a payroll tax cut would give you double benefit compared to most W-2 workers. Now I know that this doesn't do anything to help those who aren't working, but that's why I say pair it with a $1,200 check. That way it's not unfair or anything like that. Finally, I believe that PUA, that additional $600 additional unemployment benefit, should continue at least $300 per week. I know I'm going to get some pushback with this, but I know that $300 a week would still help those who can't find work, at least pay for some or majority of their bills, and they would also still get that $1,200 check, so that would be an additional benefit there. And if they did find work, they would be able to keep more of their pay with that tax cut. So I think all those things together could be an awesome combination for an additional stimulus package. So that's my stimulus bill, and I'm going to call my stimulus bill the money and extra stimulus bill, or the Max's bill for short. All right, moving on to the next question. Let's see here. Next question comes from the IRS's FAQ page. This question is, I haven't filed my 2019 tax return, but I did file my 2018 return and I received my stimulus check. Will filing my taxes affect the payment I already received? So in this case, the answer is no. The IRS used the information from your 2018 tax return to calculate the size of your stimulus check, since you haven't filled out your 2019 return yet. Also, as a side note, if you received your check but it wasn't the correct amount, you will be able to claim the additional amount when you file your 2020 tax return. All right, next question. What if you returned back to work a couple weeks ago? Would you still qualify for the $450 bonus? So this question has to do with the $450 return to work bonus that would give those leaving unemployment an additional $450 a week on top of their regular pay as an incentive to go back to work. It's important to point out that this is just a proposal as of right now. Under my best understanding of the proposal, if you already left unemployment, you would not receive the bonus. Because it's an incentive to leave unemployment, they really have no reason to incentivize you after you already left unemployment. I know what you're thinking, that sounds unfair, and you'd be right, it is pretty unfair. The squeaky wheel, unfortunately, gets the oil. So, to keep this video from going too long, I'm going to call it quits on questions today, and I'm going to do more questions tomorrow. So finally, let's cover some stock market news. After a turbulent week of ups and downs, the markets finished just slightly down yesterday. The Dow Jones finished down 0.8%, the S&P 500 down 0.5%, and then the Nasdaq finished almost exactly even, but just up the tiniest little smidge at a 0.03% increase. So it's really shocking to me that the markets aren't lower. Yesterday, the Federal Reserve warned that the outlook for the U.S. economy remains wildly uncertain. The Fed's vice chairman had this to say about it, and this is a quote from him. "We don't know about the pace of reopening, how consumers will behave, or the prospects for a new round of containment. There's probably never been more uncertainty about the economic outlook." It's really hard to disagree with that, as much as I would like to. Anyone who says that they know with certainty where the economy will be in a month from now is either some kind of time traveler or a liar. COVID cases are up, there are still protests in the streets, people have no jobs and no way to pay for bills. Just the list of uncertainties just goes on and on. Really, the only things we can be certain of is that there is a lot of uncertainty. Then we have the stock market. People are like, hey, stock market, you realize that the economy is tanking and we have no idea what's going to happen next, right? And then the stock market is the guy who's like, you're trying to talk to him and he doesn't hear you, but he still is like, yeah, totally, and just pretends like he hears you. That's the stock market right now. But jokes aside, what's going on in the short term really doesn't matter a whole lot if you plan to invest in the long term. No matter what, if you're investing in the very long term, things will eventually go up. That's how I invest. That's why I'm not super scared about what's going to happen week to week, because I put my money in there and then I try not to think about it. And what really matters is where it's at 30, 40, 50 years from now. If you're interested in getting into the stock market, check out the link in my description for Webull. You'll receive 2 stocks completely free once you deposit $100 into your account. The free stocks are valued between $12 and $1,400, and this is a limited offer, so make sure that you check it out as soon as possible if you are interested. And I took a look at the odds, and you're guaranteed at least $24 once you sign up. Then you have a 1 in 50 chance to get around $100, and then a 1 in 1,000 chance to get around $1,000. So you'll probably get around $30, but maybe you'll get 1,000. And hey, where else can you make $30 in 5 minutes? Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Anyways, that's all I have for today. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.